We have an agenda today, a loop based on our best ideas, and we may at some point have a special guest or not. It's like really we don't know. We don't know. We have no idea actually.
All right. Okay. Welcome to the Health Tech Talk Show, where interoperability meets a budget operation with the world famous host, the capitalist queen herself, Kat McDavitt. And our Share Bear socialist, Lisa Bear. So sit back, grab a drink, and enjoy your end of week roundup.
Oh my God, that was so good.
I did not actually approve it, but that's fine.
You didn't approve it? What are you talking about? It was totally approved. Share Bear, Lisa.
That was mine. I'm sorry, Lisa, but I thought it was such a cute recognition. Share Bear socialist.
When they send me off to the camps, you're not going to be laughing.
Lisa, everybody knows you're my friend, and I'm a capitalist. No one's going to send you to a camp.
Aww,
you won't let them.
You say now.
It's fine.
I'll keep you. I'll be like, she's mine. She's mine. They'll let me keep you. Like, you might have to live in the basement, but it's nice.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Well,
anyway, hello, America.
That was fun. We had a last minute technical, who knows what the hell was going on there.
Obviously,
wow.
This is the Health Tech Talk Show. We're all about technical problems. But I feel like that was great, Lisa. Anyway, so everybody, that's our new commercial or our new intro video that Melissa and Michael made for us.
Thanks
so
Melissa and Michael.
It looks like slightly more budget than usual, which is no budget. So someone put some money into that, and it wasn't us. So
it certainly wasn't me, and it wasn't Kat.
It was definitely Michael. Also, he's got a whole blooper reel of me like cursing into the computer.
Yeah, that could be next week's commercial.
It's a lot.
Yeah, the Care Bear Socialist was like version number 10 of the name she called you, Lisa. So all good.
Someday, loyal fans, we will hear the other names Melissa called.
They were all nice. I was like trying to come. I was Googling like what could I possibly call hers and be cute for socialist.
Oh my gosh, so cute. Amazing. Anyway, all right. Oh yeah, Emma, I'll take you in too. Listen, I have plenty of room. So yeah, don't worry.
Great.
Okay, so hey America, we just got back from San Francisco, so Lisa and I are gonna do a recap of our time there and everything we learned, and then we're gonna bring on this guy in the corner here, Jim Nasr, who many of you know is like doing a lot of. So he's the guy who asks the hardest questions on the talk show in the comment section.
It's actually true.
And so we are delighted to have Jim here, and so we're gonna bring him on the second half, and we don't know what he's going to tell us, which is normal. So we're excited.
We'll
so Jim, say hello to your adoring fans, and then we're going to send you off, and then we'll bring you back. But we are not sending you to the socialism camps. We're not sending you there.
We don't have camps yet, but they're coming.
They're coming.
Okay, Michael, I'm sending you away too.
Boy. Oh boy.
And Melissa, I'm sending you away too because you told me to. Okay, Lisa. All right. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
What did we do this week? This was us at JPM. We wore little suits and we walked around the sidewalks.
To work. I love going to work.
Business maxing. We went business maxing. This is a really great cover show image. I'm into it.
It's really great.
So Lisa, tell us what happened in San Francisco.
Oh man. So, I mean, it's become like almost a thing on the internet now to be like, oh, there's a bunch of investors and they go to San Francisco and they walk over homeless people and they spend lots of money on caviar, and like partially true and partially like not true. And it's just kind of, it's a little bit old now. Like save your LinkedIn posts, y'all. Like don't do it. It's not worth it, right? First and foremost, like, yes, we have a mental and behavioral health and homelessness crisis in San Francisco. And it is actually starting to get better in SF, in Seattle, in Portland, and all kinds of parts of the country where we have this crisis. It is really, we are seeing improvements, and like, it's not cool or funny to be like, oh, there's homeless people in San Francisco. Some people are like, have you been to a city before? Like, it's not like cities are cities and they have positive things and negative things. And, sometimes you get confronted with the homelessness crisis in your city because the city's really small. But you know what? It's also just a city thing. Not that we should accept that, but that's the reality. So like save that. Like it's like year number 5 billion of people writing like dumb LinkedIn posts about that. So that's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree.
That was
So first of all, I thought I like had a great time this year, to be clear. Like I thought like it felt like business was back. People want to like do stuff again. You know, I mean, people are freaking out, but like also people like seemed kind of optimistic, which like I'm here for.
Correct.
And yeah, we all ate caviar. And I think the thing that bums me out is like, yeah, it's like there's a ridiculous display of wealth in San Francisco. And then they're talking about the parties they were at and how awful they were. Listen, I was booster shots with one of those people who was trying to get me to be an LP in their fund. And the next day they're all like, just investors shouldn't make this much money. And I was like, you realize I would only give you money if you also made this much money. So this sounds like a disqualifying round right here. Right. And it's like, I wrote this douchey LinkedIn post about this. Like,
it was good.
I liked it. Morgan conference. It's a bunch of investors. This is like, they are attracting other investors. They are putting their wares on display, which is excessive wealth. Like, don't come. Like, don't, because guess what? Like, you didn't just have, like, you didn't walk into JPM. You have to book a hotel a bajillion months in advance and or pay $1,000 a month or $1,000 a night plus for the Holiday Inn. Like, you had to actually come there. So
yeah. I mean, this is like people also understand. Like, I see people are like posting sometimes. You're like, do I get tickets to JPM? I'm like, no, you can't get tickets to JPM. There's no tickets for you to get to JPM. You're an investor. You work at a company that is going through an IPO or doing a transaction, and the investor conference invites you for a specific thing. Like the vast majority of people are there for side events and for networking. It's not a thing that you go to, like you buy a ticket to the conference. And so you really have to be like, I'm going there for a reason to do X, Y, and Z thing. Like you don't have to be there. Like you don't have to come. But it's cool.
Well, like I said in my LinkedIn post, like I'm here for people making lots of money and also like doing the good thing with your money afterward. Like, and like a great LinkedIn post next year would be like, I didn't go, and here's how I used the $10,000 I would have spent on my week there to help save America.
For charitable causes.
I would be totally fucking here for that. I would like the shit out of that post, and I look forward to that.
Listen, you guys, the charitable cause, thank you very much, as a like Bay Area resident, is the tax basis for the city of San Francisco. We need your help. We appreciate you spending $1,000 minimum a night, spending $1 bazillion on Ubers, Lyfts, robot cars, whatever else you do. Like spend it in San Francisco so we get the money. We are the charitable cause. But also like the other thing that happened this year is that there was this massive push around women's health, like biotech, tech bio, health tech investment. And there was a huge community. They did a big like photo shoot in Union Square. There was like multiple like overlapping events about the state of women's health. It's a really great report by Women's Health Access Matters about the ROI of investing in women's health, technology, bio, just everything. And it like putting some real numbers behind it, like here's the ROI, invest this, right? Really good stuff that came out, like a noticeable effort to have events about women's health and women's health investment. That was cool.
Yeah, there were a ton of women's health things. I do worry that like, Lisa, we're entering and like, we're going back to the 1990s for the next 4 years minimum, right? So like, I do worry that like, I hope something actually happens from those. Like it's going to require more work. I'm looking forward to the women's health events coming back like year 3 of Trump 2, right? Like, I feel like that, we're like going to gear back up for like, maybe we'll come back. I mean, it might at least be 2010 at that point. I don't know. But I mean, that was cool. So we also did a talk show with our friends at the NIH. The Commander Michael Banyas asked us to come in and interview some of the companies that they've supported with SBIR grants. So like the 3 that we interviewed were like really, really cool. Yeah, I was into it. It was Heido Health, Teal Health, and then Reyes Health. I can't say it was Reyes Health, but very, very cool companies doing cool entrepreneur stuff. We heard a lot about how the SBIR grants like really helped them out as non-dilutive funding. And I think our favorite, maybe because it was like, this is the talk show and things are wild, Teal Health brought their cervical at-home collection swab device, which was pretty awesome. And I even got to touch it and feel it. And I just want to tell you guys, like, I am ready for this.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
ready.
I thought Teal Health did, so basically like they created a self-collect device that they fully redesigned using the really cool design from IDEO, like from top to bottom, like figure out what can we do. And basically like currently, if you are a woman, you are supposed to be getting a pap smear roughly every year, every 2 years. They change the guidelines down now and then, depending on your risk level and your age, to screen for cervical cancer. It's like really important and like really easy to manage and like and head off any serious issues around cervical cancer. Early screening detection, really, really important. But it's a terrible human experience. Like it's an awful, bad experience. And apparently they've been using self-collect, they call it, in other countries like Australia for a long time. And they're trying to get this to market. And obviously it takes a long time. The SBIR grant was really helpful, non-dilutive funding. But then sort of later that week, I was talking to other folks about this, including some really awesome women OBGYNs who run private practices. And they said, yeah, it's great, except for it needs like things like that. Like the devil is in the details of commercialization and how you loop in or keep medical doctors looped in. And so that's kind of the conflict in healthcare, in D2C, direct to consumer health tech innovation, right? The problem in America is always like, how do we pay for this? And how do we make sure that, like, a doctor is going to be there when you need a doctor for something that's not complicated? That was the thing I heard.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, what I always think about, because of who I am as a human, I think about how do you commercialize this, right? And that's the scary part. Like, something could be an amazingly good idea, can be totally rad.
Yeah.
But how does it fit into our reimbursement system, which, by the way, like, I know we have commercial plans, but everybody follows CMS rules. So this is actually like, like the government. Yeah, it needs to if we want this kind of technology to succeed, it needs more than just non-dilutive funding. It needs, like system change. But I thought all those companies were like doing really, really cool things. Who was the dumbest company? Who was the dumbest company you met?
The dumbest company I did not meet, but still hate, is Hippocratic AI.
We've got a slide on them. We've got a slide on them. So that's good to know that did not change.
I'm still in a fight with you guys. Still having a fight in my head, at least.
I have to say, not dumbest company, but no one has told me still what Innovacer does anymore. Like, I used to really know what they did, and now I don't. So
I heard that they want to come on our talk show. So
do they? Are they gonna sponsor us? Because
still waiting.
Dear loyal fans, exciting announcement before we move on from this Eat Crab sign, which I will explain, Michael. We made $500 last year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not accounting for any staff time, just to be clear. Cash in, cash out.
This is a volunteer operation. But yeah, money spent, money in. We made $500. Yeah. And we look forward to paying taxes to our great federal government on that amount. Anyway, and then Michael, just to be clear, this was a sign that was right outside of my hotel room. So the sun rose over it every morning. And I just thought, wow, if only healthcare marketing could be so direct. So simple.
Pretty simple.
So direct.
That was also great.
Yeah. So my last day, I did go and take an up close photo of it. And I just really feel good about it. So anyway, I mean, you can eat crab or not. Like, everybody's got their own preferences. Some people don't like shellfish
or caviar.
So speaking of JPM, so we ran into our friend of the show, Matthew Holt, a few times on the streets, the dirty streets. Actually, they were pretty clean, honestly. Didn't you tell me, like, JPM told San Francisco they had to clean up? It was pretty clean, I have to tell you all.
And they do. And by the way, for Dreamforce also, like, there's a lot of cleaning of the streets that happens. And that whole Union Square area is a business district. They have people clean that all the time. So,
it's like no problem. Yeah. So he wrote this piece kind of giving his overview, and Matthew, like, he's always got the big feels, which I'm into. Oh wait, hold on, before we move on, this is too good not to share. Oh my God. Yes.
I'm into it, and I like strongly supportive of your new tagline. Love it.
100%. You let us know when you're ready for us to announce it on the internet more live than
make a logo and create a new logo for Direct
we can
Trust.
We will make you a logo. Direct Trust. You didn't even know it was coming. Okay, so Matthew, this is actually a pretty thoughtful piece I thought that he wrote in the healthcare blog. And you know, his thing was like, whatever, people eat caviar and everybody loves caviar. Well, I don't know, whatever, I do. But his thing was like, his argument was, why are these VCs giving money to individual founders who have completely bombed? Like, why is it so easy for them to raise money again? Which is a thought-provoking point. And it made me think, why are they doing that? I don't think these people are dumb. Is there just something I don't understand about the shell game of investing?
Yeah, I mean, so I think on this one, Matthew and I actually agree with. There are very few things we agree on, but this is definitely one of them. And I mean, I think it's just
Friends.
honestly like there's this bias of, you know, I know this guy, and it's generally this guy. That incidentally, that's part of my annoyance at the Hippocratic AI story, since the founders, as reported, not allegedly, as reported by others, not me, you know, shut down their previous company, went bankrupt, took data, didn't pay employees, didn't pay vendors, and so on and so forth. It's the same idea, though. They got a huge check from some of the previous founders previous funders, rather, after having gone bankrupt and stiffed their vendors and their employees. And like, so there you go. That's the idea. I know this guy. I know what he's about. I know what it's like to work with him. As Matthew says, like, it's a guy I want to get a drink with or whatever. I think a lot of it is just that bias of like the devil, you know.
Yeah, I do agree. I saw there were some comments on Matthew's post with someone saying like, oh, it's not because they like having drinks. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I get a lot of business. I get a lot of business that way, and I'm pretty sure that is how it works in the world. So I don't know. This is a good piece. You guys should check it out. Get some of his thoughts.
Yeah.
I do think he's right that the scene has changed a little from years past in the health tech side. But I thought it was a great conference, or, you know, not that it was a conference, an event, a gathering of individuals,
loose gathering of events.
And then this guy, you sent me this guy. This is a good post that you found on the internet, Lisa. Basically, everyone is sick of AI. You know, one thing that I thought about when I read this, because Lisa's my only news source, really, is Matthew's post talked about how, like, he's like, good luck if you have a 401k and AI boom doesn't work out, because so many of the large companies are that's like their move right now. So it did make me think, like, oh fuck, are we like, when is the .com bust coming for AI, and like how much is that gonna
soon? Like soon and a lot. This is really important though, right? Like, yes, you can, like, I actually would almost prefer that they do like number one, because then they're just like not investing a ton of their own money, but they're still lying. They're like, our AI platform, and all you did is literally use like the Chat GPT API. Congratulations. But then building something that isn't AI but calling it AI, I mean, it's also like not that much money, happens all the time. I mean, if we're being really precise here, none of this stuff is AI, but that's fine. Whatever. You can say whatever you want. And then unrealistic promises, bad data, that's a lot of them. That is a lot of them.
Yeah. So I don't know. This is something to consider and something to watch as the world goes crazy with the AI. I don't think the ceiling is unlimited on this one. So we'll see what's what. And this is as always. I think Sachin Jain was like the runner-up shit poster on the internet in our best and worst of everything list per Kat and Lisa. But I do think there's a lot to agree with here about this.
You can bet he's gonna write a snarky, like, who's this guy talking about post. That's a guarantee.
I mean, if you're not following Sachin, you totally should, because you're always like, who's he talking about? Who pissed him off today? I'm into it.
I think I know this one, but that's fine.
Well, what are you gonna do? Okay, Lisa, on to your favorite worst company. Tell us about this.
So
you're very stressed about this.
Hippocratic AI, they continue to, in my perspective, fail upward. Congratulations to them for getting so much incredible press for what they are doing, which I think is incredibly harmful. This week or whatever, they announced their become a clinician creator. They're basically talking about paying clinicians, like physicians, licensed physicians, some amount of money that is less than $5,000 to give their likenesses and their clinical knowledge for an AI app, agent, whatever thing. And let me just put this right out here. If you are a physician and you think this is a good idea, wow. I think you are wrong and you should definitely stop right now. Do not give your likeness, do not give your brain to this company that was founded by people who have a history of going bankrupt and taking the assets and leaving. This is not a good idea. And I mean, if you value your likeness and your knowledge so little that you would give it away to a company that is going to use it like this, that's sad. That's sad. Allegedly.
I mean, but this is America, and you can make your own choices, a loyal fan. So
at least sell yourself for more than like some number less than $5,000 per their confusing terms here. My goodness.
Yeah. I would just like to say this is a really, really bad analog here, but I grew up in eastern central Pennsylvania, where you can sell your development rights on your land to the government.
It's like that.
For the low price of whatever the hell, when you actually should not do that. Like, that's a short-term game, long-term loss, my friends. So right. I know that is this is a very different analog, but don't sell your development rights either. So
this is one where you better, if you just press OK on the terms and conditions, you deserve whatever is coming to you. Read the terms and conditions.
Oh my Please, the T's and C's, as we say, always read the T's and C's. So other thing about all this stuff is, again, like, venture capital is going to venture capital. Their investors are going to invest. So like, it doesn't mean it's a good idea, is what I'm saying. It doesn't mean it's like gonna save America kind of idea. Just because an investor or investors give them, over $100 million. So just like be mindful. The other thing, listen, again, loyal fans,
I'm in a feud in my mind with these guys who probably don't care at all about me. Again, they are doing just fine. They got $141 million as we reported. And
I hope they do care about you, though. I hope they care.
I don't know. I don't think they need to.
They care.
They got
I hope they care. Yeah, I think they could just dry their tears with all of their blue stripes, Lisa. But I don't know. I will say, though, loyal fans, if you do believe in philanthropy and you do believe in doing good things and not expecting a return, like, I don't know, donate to the Zoria Foundation and we'll pay for childcare for some clinicians and keep them in the workforce so that we won't have to create AI physicians and AI nurses. Just saying. Yeah, moving on. Okay, so hey, we had some really exciting news. So our friend Chris Klomp, formerly of Collective Medical, former CEO of Collective Medical, and then board member of many companies since then, is likely going to be the head of Medicare under Dr. Oz and the RFK crew.
It's good incredible. For him. It's incredible news.
Okay, listen, America, here's the thing. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. This is the best thing that could have happened for Medicare, because Chris knows shit. He works really hard. He gives a shit. He cares. He has good ideas. He knows how data works. So like, this really is a very good outcome for America, assuming all goes well with RFK's, confirmation and all that. So that is very exciting. And then I do not know Stephanie Carlson. But I have heard that she knows what the hell she's doing. So
yeah, she has a really legitimate, qualified background and has been around in the space for quite some time. It's pretty exciting. Stephanie, and then Abe Sutton was also part of the first Trump administration and is also part of Rubicon Founders, which is Adam Bowler, who was previously the head of CMMI. And just generally in the like health technology, health innovation space. So it's a pretty exciting list, actually, in terms of like qualified people who have interesting backgrounds, understand the technology space in particular. Like, from my perspective, this is an excellent slate for people who care about health tech and data.
Yeah, no, I think it's really, really good. Both Abe and Chris are private sector vigilantes. Like, they know how to get stuff done. My only caution would be to the people who will work for Chris, and probably Abe, though I do not know him well, is like, these people work really hard and they want to get shit done. So like, sleep now. Having worked for Chris, sleep now. All right.
That's right.
Oh, and then super sad news. Paul Mango passed away yesterday.
Yeah, and it sounds like it was just a total out of the blue. Paul Mango was in the first Trump administration, and he was actually the guy who was like the big champion for Operation Warp Speed, lest you forget, which is what got us the COVID vaccines. and and some other things around COVID treatment and vaccination. It's like really sad and unexpected. And I know he was hoping to be part of the next administration. So I think this was just something tragic and unexpected. Paul, just so everyone knows, for those folks who were there or close by, Paul was really instrumental in making Operation Warp Speed happen. You wouldn't have those COVID vaccines that Kat doesn't take. I do. I take more. I take all of them, and Kat takes none of them. It's fine.
I used to, Lisa. I get COVID so much. I don't need it. I have God's vaccine every few months. All right, moving on. Okay. And then in ASTP land, we have some new C-suite hires. So y'all heard Mr. Stefan Kanya, who now also has a new title, Chief of. I don't know what his title is, but he's basically the same title.
Chief Innovation, isn't it? Chief Innovation. Did we make that up?
Chief, Innovation. Yeah. But in something. But that's cool because we always introduced him as the head of innovation anyway. So basically we got Stefan his promotion. But you remember when he was on the show, he talked about these job openings. So Chief AI Officer, Chief Data Officer, and Chief Technology Officer. One of them.
Yeah, and I actually know who they are. Megan Dierks. Dr. Dierks is she's a real medical doctor, a specialist, Chief AI Officer. Chief Data Officer is friend of the show, a friend in real life, Kristen Honey, who's amazing, like actually incredible. And then the Chief Technology Officer, the boss of the others, is, I think her name's Alicia Roald. Sorry, Alicia, I forgot your name. Pronounced wrong. Yeah. But she's great. She's been with a digital service for quite some time. So these are like
amazing,
actually really highly qualified and awesome women. And I would just like to say it's interesting they were just hired right now at the end of the current administration and not before. And I would humbly suggest that they run everything. Thank you.
God bless America. Yeah, but some drama that there are rumors that this will all just get rolled back. And then as you say, Lisa, it's hard to fire someone who is senior executive service, but you can relocate them to Siberia, the Siberia of the government. I don't know where that is. Where is that, Lisa? What is the Siberia of HHS?
Oh gosh. There's so many options. Probably HRSA. Sorry, HRSA.
I was just gonna say everybody says HRSA.
Sorry, HRSA. You guys do really important work in community health centers, and your work is incredibly important, but not valued as such.
Yeah. You know what? Being undervalued, you can come back from that.
That's right.
Okay, and then this report. Honestly, I thought this report is dumb. As someone who believes in the great free private sector and obviously very biased, like. They're saying that consolidation is the reason healthcare sucks. Hello. A lot of the reason people have to consolidate, particularly in the post-acute sector, is because these regulations suck so bad. There's no money. Everybody has to squeeze every single freaking penny out of everything. And so guess what, HHS? The way to do that is to consolidate. That's why that shit happens. So I thought this report was super freaking dumb.
I honestly, no offense to probably the 12 people who wrote this, but I felt like it was written by ChatGPT. No offense to anyone again, but I was I probably could have written that with Claude or whatever. I mean, it's true.
If we could all make money being independent practices and solo hospitals, I'm pretty sure everybody would prefer that, but you can't make money that way. Maybe y'all should get some raises once in a while and also stop making stupid rules.
Well, it's also saying if it isn't the consequences of my own actions, right? The actions the government has made on reimbursement have led to consolidation, and there are things you can do to back out of that. Speaking of the conversations this week around women's health, by the way, one of the reasons why there is so little investment in women's health and med tech and health tech is because reimbursements are absolutely trash. The same type of surgery on a woman is paid less, a similar type of surgery is paid less for women's health stuff versus other stuff. And devices are from the 1930s because there hasn't been that push towards innovation in new devices because the reimbursement is so low, right? The consequences of HHS's own actions are that people have to consolidate.
Yeah, so dumb. Anyway, I was mad. Lisa, I love that we are agreeing more and more on these business ranks that I go on. I don't know what's happening.
Now you're going to have to take back calling me a socialist. Speaking of socialist.
She's not a socialist. She's just
Speaking of socialists.
anyway. Okay, I couldn't even copy this letter because it was so dumb. It said that this group wants a 32-hour. It's a bunch of government staffers who want a 32-hour work week.
These are
I feel like
congressional staffers.
The timing
Yes.
is so bad. Like
So
whose idea? It's a right before the Trump administration takes over, where a bunch of entrepreneurs are in like all the appointed positions to say, you know what?
Okay, wait. Let me put some reality on this. This is not government staffers. These are congressional staffers. They're the people who staff members of Congress. And by the way, their bosses are the members of Congress, not anybody else. But whatever. That's why it's also confusing. Like, why would you send this to like congressional leadership? Like, it's actually the individual member of Congress's choice what to do with their own staff. But whatever. So they send this letter and they're like, we want a 32-hour work week. And I'm like, can you read the room, my friends? Brothers and sisters, read the room.
Maybe it was a joke. Maybe it was a
comrades.
Comrades. Yeah. There's friend of the show, Kevin. Agree. Strong agree.
Comrades, read the room.
Okay. Hey, more drama with United Healthcare, which, by the way, United Health Group owns Change Healthcare, for everyone that forgot. At first I read this and I was like, what? Like, that's old news. But it's actually, they were supposed to put an internet notice on the internet for all the people whose addresses they apparently don't have. And they did put it up, but the page is hidden from search.
As a former search marketing gal, I can tell you that you make choices about the code you put in the web page, about how it will be shown, how it will be targeted, or what it will show up against, and they hit it, which is interesting. How would you do that?
It is, you know what? It's interesting. Let's not give these guys any more oxygen. Oh yeah, Tefka turned a year old.
Yeah, great. I'm glad we solved data exchange in the country, though.
Yep.
Feels good.
Moving on. All right. This is kind of good news for telehealth, Lisa, right?
No, this is actually, I mean, yes, it depends on which perspective you're on. If you're somebody who wants to run a virtual care platform where you prescribe controlled substances, this is not good news for telehealth. This actually says things like, it basically says like a prescriber, someone who prescribes controlled substances, they have to do 50% of their time in person, and they can only do 50% of their time on virtual care. So it's actually really bad if you are somebody who runs a virtual care company that prescribes controlled substances. So I don't know if this is going to stand. TBD.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
If you think there are safety concerns and you don't want there to be these places you can go to get controlled substances prescribed online, then you think this is good. If you are like, I am a tech entrepreneur who wants to have a potentially dangerous and illegal cerebral, for example, then you would think this is bad.
I do think most companies that are operating in this space are not cerebral like companies. Or what was the other one called? I can't remember. It had some other, it doesn't matter.
I forget.
They wanted a business too. But yeah, like I'm up for like more controls, but I also think that like, especially for rural areas and like we do so much with opioid stuff, like, you know, but it's nice someone's making some noise about things. I will say in Trump 1, they were very supportive of innovative solutions for opioid use disorder. So maybe we'll see. Wait, who knows? Honestly, you guys, like, no one knows what the hell's going to happen.
No one knows. No one knows.
Yeah, I did just get a text that says, hold on, before we got, I think that's our last slide before we bring on our expert guest. I did just get a text that said, are you ready to change the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America? Claim your Gulf of America t-shirt here. Okay, I will say that is exceptional marketing for someone like me who loves making t-shirts and things, but, you know, we just don't know what's going to happen. Like, we might be welcoming Greenland. We might be welcoming the entire country of Canada and just the Panama Canal, like none of the people. So, you know, anyway.
An actual smart comment from Mary Sarah. Not that Mary Sarah is actually smart, but that we are not actually smart. Thank you, Mary Sarah. Yes, exactly. Not all controlled substances are the same. One example here I was going to say is that like testosterone for like hormones for like perimenopause and menopause treatment, which are not really approved or they're being prescribed off label. For example, that's a controlled substance. So there's just all kinds of things that are like not exactly the same. And if you paint it with one brush, you could really be harming people. So TBD.
Yeah. So today, Lisa, or yesterday, or probably today, I don't remember, but the Biden administration announced 15 new drugs that will be negotiated in addition to the 10
including your favorite.
And number one is Kat's all-time favorite medication of the world, Ozempic.
That's right. That's right. I'm interested to see what they come out with, right? I hope that they are successful in bringing the cost down, but TBD.
Lisa, as someone who knows things about government, is this something that the Trump administration could just change?
Yeah, but I mean, it's one. Yes, yes, I believe so. It was a law, so it will take some time. The administration, I don't think they can like directly, unilaterally change it, but you can always slow anything down you want to from the administration's perspective. That said, I mean, I think the idea is pretty good. It depends on how pharma, the lobbying organization, and how the pharmaceutical industry is feeling about this. But it has some good momentum. They didn't make like major improvements in price. I think we also didn't include Optum RX, which is like one of the biggest PBMs, obviously, so that they're going to pass through 100% of the drug rebates that they negotiate, that they already passed through 98%, but they are going to voluntarily, out of the goodness of their own heart, pass through 100% now. So, there's it's not a straightforward space. PBMs,
God bless them.
Drug pricing, like there's a lot of stuff happening.
Well, that's exciting. I'm glad that they feel like being nice people.
Yeah.
Also, Drew, my prediction about what happens when Canada becomes our 51st or 52nd state is we just continue taxing them, but downgrade their healthcare. I do not think we will be getting their healthcare system, but I think we would like their money. TBD.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens there. By the way, I don't actually think Canada's coming. Like,
I don't think any of those countries are coming to the U.S.
I think what's going to happen, just because I'm such a geopolitical expert, I think that what'll happen is we'll agree that with Greenland that they'll just let us keep a stronger military presence in Greenland. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. So anyway, and then last piece of news before we talk about real nerd stuff with Jim is this is unrelated to healthcare, but just in case anyone was curious. Mark Zuckerberg blames Facebook's ills on Sheryl Sandberg because in a classic move of blaming the woman. Here we are.
Listen, Mark Zuckerberg owns like super voting shares in Facebook or Meta or whatever they call themselves now, and has for a very long time. That guy is in control of that company and trying to pass the buck because he decided he wants to be cool with like Elon Musk and all those other guys. Like, cool, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this in Latin so he can understand. Memento mori, Mark. Memento mori.
So he understands. Oh my God. And with that,
Jim Nasr. Memento mori, Jim. Memento mori.
Jim,
oh
welcome out of the comments and onto the live show. I feel like you're always with us, and here you are. Oh my God, what's even going to happen?
I was having so much entertainment listening to you guys. I'd rather sit in the back. That was great.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what do you think about all that?
Where do you want to start? It's funny. I have heard now Lisa several times talk about Hippocratic and AI. I got to say, 100%. I'm with you. There are so many. I won't go down the rabbit hole of what is AI, what is not, what is just ChatGPT and basic inference. But there's so many more useful things we can do. Like for instance, of the $1 trillion of wastage in healthcare, so much of that is back end work. Like what we think of as like pipeline automation, workflow automation, take talks data, making to fire using AI. Those are like repetitive, complex tasks that can be done with AI really well, far better than doing, HL7 mapping and things like this. Would be far better served on Tefka or HIEs in general. Anyway, I won't go, but to me, I really buy into what you're saying. And I was talking to a friend of mine who's an ER physician about Hippocratic, and he's like, I'm tearing my hair out because it's not good for him. It looks bad. It looks bad, frankly, on people like us doing AI because it seems like, the whole focus is let's maximize, kind of profitability and create this arbitrage, but not really do useful things.
There's just so much more to do right now with advanced data analytics or whatever you want to call it, right? Like I don't know why we would start with that, except for I do, because they're being funded by people who are like, how do we extract the maximum profit in the shortest amount of time without actually changing the system? Because we benefit off the broken system.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
I was surprised. Again, I don't know that much about this. To be fair, I don't want to make it, make it seem like I'm an insider, but I was surprised all those hospital networks signed up. Because when you go in there, the perception, if you don't know anything about it, the perception is, wow, this is legit because I have 200,000 users. But when you try it a little bit, just layer into it, you realize, it's actually a little bit of a facade. So.
Yeah, I actually, as someone who retired from healthcare PR, there's this thing called PR math. And when I saw that, I was like, huh? Also, like, there's lots of different things you can do to like get hospitals to sign on. You can give your thing away for free for a couple of years or forever. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. But hey, Jim, tell our loyal fans, introduce yourself. Because I don't think, aside from being #1 commenter of technical things, I don't know if people know.
I feel like I'm the resident nerd stuff questionnaire. Isn't that?
Yes.
I feel like that is the honorific title you guys have given me. So
we could make you. I might get this Gulf of America T-shirt and just put like on the back. I'll just write your tagline for you. I'll send
Brilliant.
it.
Love it.
Send it.
So other than that, as my full-time gig, on the side, I run a company called Acor, and we build basically blockchain-based tech, and mainly around. It's really kind of like data discovery, connecting data. Of course, you guys notice all of health data is siloed. So that by nature, the data is decentralized. And I think honestly, and I was that guy, I'm going to hold my hand up. I was that guy that 5 years ago, I was talking data lakes and these gigantic things with like Google kind of indexing. But honestly, now the way, because data really, but it's like, for instance, we look at, we work with cancer data as example, and that data by its nature is confidential, it's decentralized, is highly protected, it's highly kind of like guarded. People are not going to share it. So the gig is, well, okay, that's fine. But you want to get discovery, you want to accelerate treatment, you want to model new proteins, all these kind of things. So how do you do it? And really AI can do it. That's a very, very good use case because we don't have unlimited number of expert, surgeons or oncologists in a particular, orphan drug for cancer treatment. But nobody wants to share the data. You just, not even Google is going to be able to put all that data in one giant data lake. So that's kind of what we do is, okay, the data is decentralized, but how can we ethically yet privately reference it, do computations in memory without moving it, without like moving things around, do AI, do analytics, things like this, but then also show what I call computational like proof, like authenticity of, okay, what did Jim do? Did Jim really talk to Lisa at this time? If so, was that like, without telling everyone what we did, was that compliant? What was that private? That's kind of really what we do. That's, and very specifically, we're focused on, you mentioned, Kat, just a few minutes ago, the work that you've done, around opioids. So we do a lot on opioid kind of mortality data, working with states, localities. That was my background at CDC as well. So we do quite a bit of work at that level with MEs, with coroners, medical examiners, coroners, at the state level, a little bit at the federal level, those kind of things.
All right, blockchain.
Yes, Lisa, if I recall correctly, you kindly referred to it as the bee in apartment 23 a few months ago.
Listen, there are, I'm sure, some good use cases which you're going to tell us about.
Yeah,
but
is blockchain back?
Is blockchain back, Jim?
Is it back?
I mean, let's put it this way. There has never been more positive sentiment about blockchain and crypto. The current administration is super pro crypto. I mean, all you got to do is just look at what's happening on.
I like crypto.
Yeah, but it never left. There's a
Michael
lot
says it never left. You can call it Web3 now. Market.
Honestly, I'm not a big fan of Web3. I think it's one of these, like catch-all things that many people use with like a rug pull and scam kind of angle, which gives like a really bad rep for everyone. People like us, we're trying to actually go out of our way to prove being ethical, as opposed to do like mint our low tokens and and hold it back, pump it and sell it, and that's not what we're trying to do.
Yeah, no. So Jim, actually, we want to create a token, a cat and I, and the sole purpose, just like the Hawk coin, is to scam people. Help us do that. That's our whole goal.
Could it be,
to scam people.
Could it be related
get like
to
a little founder's bag? Is that what's part of the deal?
Yes.
Yes. If we make money, but could it be related to the Freedom Health Data Network?
Yeah, we want to create a Freedom Health Data Network coin.
Yeah, I feel like the Freedom Data Health Data whatever.
Freedom Health Data Network. I know.
Get it right,
it's very
Jim.
important to get the branding right. It is.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna get it right, but that kind of that requires like a whole NFT collection. We can't just we can't just mint the token. We gotta really think through that one.
This is important. Jim is helping us brainstorm how we're going to make money off of the Health Tech Talk Show.
That he already said he could be one of our new unpaid staff members, and we'll just pay him on commission when it all works out. Lisa, I don't have to listen. We have already made the choice. We're fine. It's good.
I kid you not. You may think this is being facetious or kind of stupid.
No,
but you guys,
I am ready.
You could definitely use NFTs in a not like a silly way, and protect your creative rights. You could protect your voice. You could, especially, I could take, very easily, I could take you guys' voices, your video. I can create a page-gen version of you guys and run a bot that does your podcast. And
Hippocratic AI, but for us, we got it.
They're coming.
For the podcast.
We could just partner with Hippocratic AI and they could scan our whatever.
Yeah, it's totally cool. No, we should totally do this. But before we talk about doing this and rolling out our Freedom Health Data Network coin or whatever it's called, Jim, what are you like? Okay, so it turns out blockchain was never gone, but what are you super excited about in the next? Give us the next 4 years. What's going to happen? What kind of because we could sit here and complain, but we're just going to talk about opportunities. What are you excited about?
Yeah. I'm an optimist. You kind of have to be when you're running a business and try to do things in healthcare. But I honestly believe that in the context of a blockchain, that this AI and ethical AI, quote ethical AI in particular, decentralized AI will be the killer app for blockchain. I think that's the thing. Again, I'll give you just a little bit of data point. So just last week, on Monday, I think, the FDA released, really for the first time in this context, released an AI guidance, right?
Oh, yeah.
What they're saying there is, look, if you're a sponsor, if you're doing any kind of AI work with patient safety, patient data, and there's patient safety elements, you must be explainable. You must show how you got to your model and how you're training it, how you're evolving it, all of which is needed. But then also you have to have some transparency. So to me, honestly, that's kind of like the playbook for blockchain. Not just blockchain. Obviously, there's more involved. We're going to do things like federated learning and decentralized data and all this kind of stuff. But if you said, legitimately, what could you do with blockchain? In kind of like a useful way. To me, this ethical AI and explaining AI in healthcare is actually a thing. And frankly, I think it's a way better thing than saying, look, we're just going to trust one central organization, whoever. We're just going to trust change, right, as an entity or Optum as a PBM.
It went well.
So as an example, you guys just talk about the 15 drugs that are being pushed by Biden for the pricing, and we all know about the maximum fair pricing, act. But who's really doing the monitoring? How do I know when Andrew Whitty says that, 100% of the savings
100%
being
pass
passed through.
through.
I mean, how am I going to know it's currently such a completely undefensible statement, but we could have more ways of being transparent about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Huh.
I like that.
So what do you think about like Chai,
Chai?
the Coalition for Health
Not
AI?
the T, the Coalition for Health AI.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay, I'm sorry.
I love the beverage, but yeah. So, you just said like, oh, blockchain would be a better solution than like these centralized, from what I gather is obviously Chai is looking to become this certifying or somewhat certifying organ, make a fuck ton of money
The
like all those guys
assurance
do.
lab for
Which like I'm
yeah.
into, except that I don't like it for this scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think? I just feel like I don't know. I just don't like the government regulating hot shit new technologies that hot shit people don't know about.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Honestly, my big worry, and it's just, I'm not, to be, again, full disclosure, I'm not involved in that organization, so I don't want to overspeak things that I'm not personally involved in. But I have done it before. I've been part of like, various standards bodies, and all kinds of things. My big worry is in these scenarios, there's often a lot of, I'm going to say, grandstanders, people who want to talk, who enjoy being on the committees, who are almost like perma committee members, but they're not the innovators. They don't put skin in the game. They're not building things. They don't have clients, So when I'm in those settings, honestly, it rubs me the wrong way because I'm interested in progress. So most of the time, let's put it this way: I think the people who are building things are way ahead of those kind of people.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
skeptical personally.
Totally.
And then also, honestly, like I said, I firmly believe we're going more and more towards a world where we are decentralized by nature in healthcare, but we want to incentivize decentralized participation at the consumer level, at these model levels, participatory, like tokens, AI. So, centralizing these things, I don't think that's the right answer. I think the better answer is, how do you leverage the natural decentralized nature of some of these things?
That's a really important point because there's a lot of people who are coming into government now, not the people we were just talking about necessarily, but people are going to be coming into government, into the CDC where you used to work, just like in all of these places, they're going to say, what if we created one centralized network? Which, as we all know, it just like we've heard this so many times, so many years, and there's so many reasons in America, legally, practically, reality, technologically, and like they're gonna come in and they're gonna say that. And unfortunately, we didn't have time to install a like honking horn whenever someone says one centralized network, but it's gonna happen. And like I think, I just think it's important to talk about what the benefits are of decentralized networks and decentralization and and federated networks and the Fediverse in general, like because people have this like natural instinct to say, what if we had one big network that the government owned? Just one.
Yeah,
like that's just not.
By the way, Lisa and Kathy, I've heard you guys, and I really appreciate this because you guys say it the way it is. Honestly, I feel from what I've seen, I'm probably in this category myself, but so many of these people who say these things are the same people who said it 30 years ago. The KOLs, no, really, they were 35 then, now they're 65, but they're saying the same thing. But the world has changed, the technology has changed, the capabilities have changed. I think what we want to get, like the consumerism nature of things, predicate better answers, but many of the people who hold at that level hold the influence, or maybe the purses. They're the same people, like I'm in conversations that people are talking to me about, let's create common data models. I'm like, with what? Like with 500 billion data parameters and tokens, could you possibly have a common data model? I mean, that is insanity. You just can't do that.
Yeah.
We need to get sound effects on our show, Kat, so we can do like the honk, like someone says,
We probably have to ask our favorite unpaid staff member, Michael Marchant, to figure that out for us. Oh, so Jim, what do you think about, you used to be like, from what I understand, a big deal at the CDC, chief architect or something? It sounds, I mean, anything with a chief title. But so what do you think about the next few years for them?
I love the CDC. To be honest with you, no, I personally like the couple of years I spent there were like really kind of seminal for me, just to appreciate the mission of the CDC and also just how many incredible, like functionally incredible people there are. Conversely, I felt and still feel that the technology, the IT staff, the people who should drive and create the innovation, they are not there. That's the weak link. So like me, I would be the weak link, which is really bad, because it's a great agency, and it's an agency that was designed to help all of us, in the US and then project into the world. Yet in many ways, and we saw this at COVID, in such a big way, just cannot stop themselves from doing stupid things and then getting really bad outcome.
Yeah. We talked about, Lisa and I were on this podcast the other week, and that this all came up too, that the COVID response was really kind of awful at the federal level from a data perspective, but some of the states really crushed it, and those lessons don't seem to have been translated up the chain. But not great.
Yeah. But there is, again, not to be like Debbie Downer about these things, there are some incredibly forward-looking states too. Like I work with some of them, like people you've never really heard of, like medical examiners and coroners and whatever. But they're so forward-looking. They don't just understand their mission, how they can affect it, but they are driving like change for innovation, like real innovation. Like talking to me about AI, you wouldn't expect MEs to be talking about AI, but they are, and they kind of get it. They get where the value could be created. So it's good to see that. We just need to kind of percolate these people so they're not the exception, they become the norm. Because I think right now they're like, they don't, their voice isn't projected enough.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, hey, Jim, what would you like to leave our loyal fans with? What kind of big feelings, big news, big exciting things to think about, other than the fact that blockchain is the answer?
And the fact that he's a founding member of the Atlanta United FC football club. So,
that's Atlanta.
That's my thing is football. But, I think the big thing is to listen to you all, because you guys are fun and, you got it going on. I think just from my perspective, honestly, I feel that even though there's a lot of gimmickry, with like people like some of the VCs, in there, like Mark Andreessen talked this week about innovation in healthcare and things like this, and I think some of it is completely self-serving. I think there is a wave that's happening though. I feel even in my world of crypto, where honestly 99 out of 100 people could care less about healthcare, because they're mainly looking at, hey, how can I, not Silicon, but they're looking at things like DeFi or whatever. But even in that space, there is more understanding of, look, there are ways in which we could do public good. Maybe not in the US, maybe it's in Kenya, maybe it's in Ethiopia or some of the other sub-Saharan African countries. But there are ways in which I think there's more of a recognition of where blockchain and AI can work together to kind of do better, do more good in healthcare, and particularly I think in some of the back end things in healthcare.
Yeah, there are definitely some other countries that are doing interesting things around open EHR, open data, building things natively off of Fire, and just like building the data chassis. So like, I'm with you, Jim. We might have to abscond and do some work elsewhere, and hopefully build some cool stuff there too. TBD, or we'll save America, whatever, Kat. What are we gonna do?
Or we'll, Lisa, be a part of the solution.
America.
Be a part of the solution. Stay with me. If they come for you, you can live in my house. It's fine. I live in Georgia.
Great.
It's totally cool. It's not a problem.
Jim, you're awesome. Thank you for being the
it.
smartest commentator and now guest. And we're work with you. We're gonna build our coin. Loyal fans, get ready for our Patreon, our coin, our all. Just you just wait. We're monetized.
We were in the black. We were in the black 2024. Like I said, $500 we made. So it is going to our heads. Maybe we'll just add a lot of zeros on the end of that. A lot of zeros in Freedom Health Data Network coin.
That's right.
Which could be 25 cents. We don't know.
That's right.
Also, loyal fans, FYI, we are going to Vive and we are going to HIMS, and we will be doing some live shows. We probably should start working on that like ASAP. But if you want to be on a live show in Nashville for Vive or in Las Vegas for HIMS, like
recommend somebody fancy to us who's going to be there, who wants to have a conversation. We will be at 5. Send all your recommendations to Melissa, and it's going to be great.
Yep. Melissa at healthtechtalkshow.com. We don't read our email very often, but she does. So anyway, all right. Hey, thank you, Jim. Thanks. What the hell?
I found a sound thing. Bye. Thank you, Jim.
We will
Talk to you later.